Hello everyone, this is Professor Horlacher, and we're going to return to the set of variations by Mozart K265. We talked about these variations on the first day of class, and this is the one that we looked at along with number 11. We talked about how this theme sounds so nice and simple in the way that Mozart first sets it. Makes the key really, really clear in a number of ways. We notice that it starts and ends on C, scale degree 1, in both of the voices, and ends that way. And then along the way, the melody makes it really, really clear what key we're in. There's a leap from 1 to 5. That's a very common thing to do in tonal music. Up to 6 temporarily, and then back to 5. And then straight down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So something about the melody scale degree identities tells us what key we're in. And something about the intervals helps us understand that this is C major and that it's a very simple setting of C major. So we talked about how Mozart uses a lot of thirds. The third between 5 and 3, the third between 6, scale degree 6 and scale degree 4. Then here's a return to 5 and 3 again. Here's one with scale degree 4 and 2. So we have a series of thirds in here. And here's one that goes down to 1 and 3. That make it really, really clear that this is a very nice, simple setting of the famous theme. And you'll remember from Monday that we talked about Variation 11 too, and how Mozart transformed just a few of these simple elements to make the theme sound so much more intense and so much more intimate. Now what we're going to do in this video, next slide, is talk about how another one of the themes comes back. It's number 8, and it comes back in the minor scale. And so we want to review a few points about the minor scale before we look at that variation. Minor scale usage. As you know, when we're writing melodies in the minor scale, if we're reaching up toward scale degree 8, which is the same as scale degree 1, we like to use the raised versions of scale degrees 6 and 7. But when we're pointing down toward 5, we like to use the lowered versions of 7 and 6. There are a few exceptions here. If you're going 8, 7, 8, you use the raised version because mostly it's decorating scale degree 8. And the same thing for 5. If you go 5, 6, 5, since you're decorating 5, you use the lowered version of 6. It doesn't look much like a 6, but that's a 6. And finally, so here's for melodies. For harmonies, we use lowered 6 and raised 7. So in C minor, and here's the key signature for C minor, the raised scale degree 6 and the raised 7, well, A flat is 6, so the raised 6 is A natural, and the raised 7 is B natural, going up to C. And conversely, when we come back down, we use B flat and A flat, and we come back down to 5. And let's think about a chord that uses scale degree 6 in it and a chord that uses scale degree 7, and make sure we know how to spell the harmonies. In C minor, a 4 chord is going to use the A flat because that's the lowered scale degree 6, but a 5 chord here's a G, a B, and a D, needs to raise scale degree 7. We need to use a B natural there. Okay, here is Mozart's Variation number 8. And this one, you can see he's let us know that this is the minor, the minore. So everything else up until this point has been in C major, but for one of the variations he decides to use C minor. And we might look around a little bit and see how Mozart is able to make this sound like a really beautiful example of C minor. We see some of the things that we've seen before in Variation number 11, how some of the notes get held on a little bit longer and resolve later. We see the same thing here. But we also see some cases where there is clear, proper minor use. And so what I'd like you to do in the next exercise is take a look at this particular variation and name 3 places where you can explain that Mozart has used the minor scale properly.